How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. PlanB just made a new video talking about where he thinks we're going this month, where he thinks we're going to be a year from now, when he's going to start selling, when he's going to get out of the market, or at least consider changing his strategy. That's how I should phrase it. This is when he's going to change his strategy. So I want to play this for you. If you think I'm bullish, you need to listen to PlanB because he's much more bullish than even I am on where Bitcoin could be. If you don't mind though, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. I'm playing PlanB's video here because I think it is important. He's someone that has multi-millions of followers in the crypto space, so he might be someone to pay attention to. And I realize he gets a lot of flack for, one time he was off by a little bit on a prediction, but he's pretty much been right on the entire last cycle, this cycle. He's crushing it. So I want to play this for you. If you're bullish after this video, check out the links underneath the video to Margex and to CoinW. Of course, leverage trading isn't right for everyone, but in case you want to put on some leverage trades, I would suggest using one of the two links underneath the video, again, to either CoinW or to Margex. Neither have KYC, neither require you to have a VPN, and you can start trading within just a few minutes. If we're right where Bitcoin's going to go, you could make a lot of money doing this, but make sure you understand what leverage trading is.
The first chart, stock to flow. Bitcoin closed this month at $71,000, and that's 10K up from last month and a new all-time high. That's, quite interesting because it's before the halving. So we have an all-time high before the halving. It's the first. So basically we have a triple top as well. First top in 2021, early 2021. Second top, a higher all-time high in October 21. And now, just before the halving, a new top, a triple top. So that's really the first time that ever happened. What we also see is that Bitcoin value is roughly at the stock to flow model line, that gray line, and that's always the case. So that was the case in the 2020 halving. That was the case here where blue switches to red. That's the halving, and this gray model line jumps 8 to 10x. That's the halving, 2016, and here again in 2012. So it's always that Bitcoin is at the model line just before the halving, and this time also like clockwork. There's one more blue dot to come. The color is months until the next halving, so one more blue dot till month 0. That's April, the halving month, and the May month will be the first red dot, and from there, red dots is here we count down 48 months, or actually it's 46 months until the next halving in 28. So the flipping from blue to red will be in May. And so the big question is, what's next? Well, I think it's inevitable that we reach 100K this year in 2024. And probably a lot higher than just that 100K. 100K, we're very close to that level now. And if the bull market is anything like we had seen in history, then we will have a steep increase in price from here. 100K this year. Note that this model line, the stock to flow model line, jumps in April to roughly 500,000, which is the average overnight of the average price level in this halving period. It doesn't mean that the price will jump overnight in May or April to this 500K. It usually takes a couple of months. And here too, you see the red dots. It takes a couple of months, almost a year, to reach that model line. And that's what I think will happen this time around too. So the next top will not be in this year, 2024, but in next year, 2025. And that top will be, yeah, well, some people talk about 200,000 as the next stop. You can see from this chart that that would be very underwhelming. And in fact, from a stock to flow perspective, we need a top that's much higher than the average 500K. So let's say 6, 7, maybe 100K or a million to reach that average of 500K. So the top will be higher than 500K in 2025. Well, that's what I think. Next chart is cycles, market cycles. And we see the second red dot. Color here is the market stage. Accumulation is blue. Red is the bull market. We're in red right now. And this is the second red dot. So yeah, from here, I think the red dots will continue like they did last time. And in this bull market and the 2013 bull market, it will continue for, well, say a month, a year. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, but let's say a year. So 12 red dots, and there will be volatility too. I mean, that's very important. It won't be straight up and no dips. There will be multiple minus 20 or 30% dips. That's very normal. And the best thing to do is not to panic at those dips. Personally, and this is not financial advice, of course, but personally, I will do nothing for the next, let's say, 12 months. And I will reassess when the market phase switches from bull market to distribution, yellow. And until yellow, I don't do anything. Next chart. RSI. Let's look at some technical indicators. So RSI is a technical indicator. It shows you when a stock or a currency, or in this case Bitcoin, is overbought, and then the relative strength indicator is high, or when it's oversold in the bear markets, when the RSI is relatively low. And we're at 77 right now. And that's the highest level ever before a halving. And that's very interesting, because what we've seen so far is the halvings. That's when blue turns to red. That was here and here and here in 2020. The RSI just before the halving was getting lower, from 70 to 65 to 55, and that's in line with diminishing returns. So the fact that we're now at 77, which is the highest level ever, could mean that this is a first indication that the diminishing returns will not be there, and we will stay in an exponential return growth path, which is, of course, what I think, and which would be in line with the stock to flow model.
Okay, wow. He covered a lot there, a lot of really interesting charts there. So let's just break it down. He says we could get over 500,000. That's where about the stock to flow is. 532,000 is what he said in the past. So typically we do move above the stock to flow line. So he's saying we could get $700, $800, $900,000 Bitcoin during this next bull market. He says probably not this year. He thinks we're going well above 100,000 this year, but he thinks we could hit much higher than that, which is like a 10x from here. About a year from now, he said, typically we see these red dots last for about 12 months, sometimes a little bit more, a little bit less. This is our second red dot, so he's expecting maybe this time next year for us to be hitting maybe the distribution phase. He says he's not going to sell, he's not going to change what he's doing until then. So he's saying, I'm going to ride this out until we start to see a drop, basically. A drop would indicate a distribution phase. I'm not going to sell. And then I'm going to reevaluate. So he thinks that we could hit 700,000, that we could 10x over the next year, maybe a couple months more or less, which is crazy. And he talks about how, based on where we are right now, we might not have diminishing returns, which could blow off everyone's estimates for how high this market cycle goes. That's just crazy to think about. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Do you think Plan B is crazy? Because, I mean, based on his charts, he is like right on with where we are in the market cycle. He's been right on in the past with stock to flow. There's a reason he's grown to have 1.5 million or so followers on Twitter. It's because he's consistently right. And I realize some people give him a lot of flack because we didn't hit 6 figures last bull market. But when you consider that we came from $3,000 in the bear market all the way up to $69,000, like the jump from $69,000 to $100,000 isn't that much when you consider we already did a 20-something X. It wouldn't have taken that much more to get us to 100,000. And we did have a lot of players that came in and manipulated like FTX. So again, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I think it's really important to take a look at. Again, you can check out Margex and you can check out CoinW underneath the video. In case you're bullish after this, you might want to consider that. Of course, always do your own due diligence though on leverage trading. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.